Hi everyone! In this video tutorial, I'd like to take a look at buffer capacity. Now, before we talk about buffer capacity, let's just remind ourselves what a buffer is. So a buffer is a solution that is able to resist change in pH over a specific pH range. So now when we're talking about buffer capacity, that's going to relate to how much of each component of a buffer do we have. Because remember, in these buffers, what you're going to have is an acid and a base that are able to react with any addition of an acid or a base that you make to it. And essentially what happens is if you use one or the other of those up, you're no longer going to be able to resist that pH change. So let's take a look at an example. So here's our example. It says, consider the following, and then we have three solutions. All of them are made up of exactly the same weak acid and conjugate base pair. So we have hydrofluoric acid and sodium fluoride. Well, remember that the fluoride is the conjugate base of our weak acid, HF. The variation among these is essentially the concentration that they have. If we look at the question, it says, which solution has the highest buffer capacity? So remember, what that essentially means is which one has the most components available to react with whatever acid or base you add in so that our pH doesn't change very much. So now if we think about it, in this case here, right, we have a very small amount of available HF and NaF. If I'm adding in an acid, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using up that NaF. If I add in a base, I'm going to be using up the HF. So the more HF and NaF you have available in solution, the greater the buffer capacity, the more you can add in. So if we take a look at this solution right here, B, we see that this one here is 100 times as concentrated as this and 10 times as concentrated as that guy. So this solution here has the most available components to react with whatever acid or base I add into. Therefore, that one has the highest buffer capacity. And that's pretty much what you need to know.